My name's Lisa Sands. I work for the Harry Hems Centre, which is a conference centre based within Hems Court, Harry Hems's workshop. I've been working here about 3 years. When I heard about Harry Hems, I've been spending that time doing various bits of research on his character, and the more I find, the more interesting character he is. He's had various scrapes with the law, and he's also spent a lot of time working on the city. He was a church warden for St Sidwell's Church, and spent a lot of time on his community. When Harry Hems entered the city for the first time, he was employed to work on the museum, and he was only a journeyman at that time, and he picked up this horseshoe in the road. I think it was snowing, and he said he told his friends, and he boasted that he would one day nail it on the front of one of the best buildings in Exeter, which I like to think he's now done. I think it was around 20 years later when he finally had his workshop open after having worked on the museum, and it became his studio. And he said this place all grew from an old horseshoe, and he named it the Lucky Horseshoe Studios.
Right, I'm Alun Sands. I run a company of chartered civil structural engineers here in the Harry Hems building. We've stripped out the modern materials. We've taken away a lot of the partitions and tried to, again, open it out as it was when it was Harry's original workshop. We've owned this building for about 10 years now, and this is, as you say, his original office, and we've kept the office as much as we can as it was when he was here. His character's quite intricate in some ways. He was a very fierce and hard, dogged man. But then he had lots of charities he supported, and he had two sides to his character.
The most interesting anecdote I found is a story by his own admission of visiting a grave in the middle of the night as a student in Sheffield of the character Little John, and increasing his reputation by digging up the gravestone, moving it a foot further back, and making the gentleman look taller than perhaps he was. He seemed quite proud of that.
There's one when he was working on the museum in Exeter, where he was taken to court for throwing stones at somebody walking along the pavement, somebody who he didn't like. He subsequently was let off the charge because he said it's a part of the job is chipping stones with a hammer and a chisel, and therefore some stones just happened to fall on the gentleman below. He also used to bring in 100 of the poorest people in Exeter for a Christmas meal, probably the only hot meal these people would have all year. And this was a very special evening which he entertained, and I think he gave everyone some tobacco at the end of the evening as well. We've since recreated it, and we've done 8 years of having parties on the same day to celebrate Harry's generosity.